Welcome to the Coach Teddy Keaton Show here on HBCU Game Day. I am Sylvester Williams. They call me Sly the Sports Guy, and I'm joined by the one and only Coach Teddy Keaton on the Teddy Keaton Show.
Good morning, man. What's up?
Hey, man, Coach, you and them doggone cardiac cats, Coach, man. We got to figure something else out. Coach, this ain't good for my blood pressure, Coach.
My question is, what we got to figure out? We 5-1-1, so maybe it might be some strategy behind what we're doing.
Coach, it's still you ain't paying for my blood pressure pills, Coach. Coach, you making my life hard, Coach. I'm in there sweating, watching the game, and then the game cut off with the last 30 seconds. I ain't gonna say nothing else, but I ain't gonna say nothing about that.
That ain't have nothing to do with Clark Atlanta.
But yeah, I know that ain't had nothing to do with Clark Atlanta, but that's a whole nother issue. But I'm gonna steal a quote from my man, Mr. James Pierce. He stole my opening line, so I'm gonna say, "What a game, CAU." No, I don't think it was an upset win. Will not be the homecoming queen. CAU will not be the homecoming queen. We're going to break it down. We're going to talk about it. Clark Atlanta goes up to Ohio and takes out Central State on homecoming. They took them out on homecoming, Coach. Anytime you play a team on homecoming, Coach, honestly, is it a little bit of extra motivation because they chose you to be the homecoming opponent?
I'm sure in some people's cases it is. But what I try to teach my players, play the next game. The game is the game, regardless of who it is, what this moment is. You can't control none of those factors. And I don't think that back in my day, you had a chance to be able to pick who you wanted to be your homecoming game. Now with the new layout of college football and how they select your schedule, most of the time your homecoming going to be in the heat deep of your conference. So you're going to end up with a conference of foe or somebody that you might have not really particularly would have scheduled for homecoming.
I get it. But, you often see Virginia Lynchburg on homecoming schedule.
That's right. For a long time, that was the schedule. That's why I say that the way the world has changed, those games you don't see many of them no more.
Don't happen no more. All right, well, let's break it down. You know what we do. We go ahead and we break down this game, play by play, drive by drive. We're going to break it down. Central State won the toss, and Clark Atlanta had to start off the game. Not usually, usually you guys got the good luck. You win the toss and you defer to the second half. But this time, Central State deferred to the second half. And, Virgil Young, he got it started with the 32-yard return to the 47-yard line. The Panthers don't waste any time. An 8-play, 53-yard drive capped off with a 16-yard touchdown pass to David Wright to Jamal Jones, and the extra point is blocked. We're going to hold on to that one. We're going to put that one in the corner some way for a little bit. The extra point is blocked. Now, this is the first time all year that Clark Atlanta has scored on his first possession. Coach, your boys came out there ready to play.
We did, and we worked those plays. We started creating some opening plays, some opening scripts so we could see what we could do to try to figure out how to punch the ball in if we have to have the ball first.
All right, now Clark Atlanta will get it. I'm sorry, not Clark Atlanta. Central State will get it, but the Clark Atlanta defense forces a 3-and-out. Defense steps up big on the first drive. And then Clark Atlanta, they'll get it 1st and 10 on the 40. Three quick plays make it a 4th and 1. 4th and 1 on the 49. The Panthers try to go for it. Incomplete pass to Amani Harris. Now, Coach, you went for it on board. You know I'm a riverboat gambler, Coach. You know I love to I don't even know what a punter is, Coach, so I ain't mad at you. But why did you decide to go for it on 4th so early in the game?
I just didn't think it was a decision. I think we had to play on hold, and I think they thought I said that they had to go ahead to run it. And it was probably never should have been done. I was trying to put it on hold to see where we were at, count out what we needed to do. And by the time I got ready to say punt, he was already snapping the ball. So it was kind of like the play, that's being brutally honest right there.
Mm-hmm. Well, CSU, they'll have it. They hold the ball for around 5 minutes, but they can't really make any advancement, and they punt it away. Defense holds strong one more time, force it a punt. Now, Clark Atlanta, they'll have it 1st and 10 on the 8-yard line, and it's a lot of Trayvon Pender on this drive. He gets it 4 times in a row to start the drive. Then you throw it, and then you go right back to him. Quarter ends, we'll start the second quarter, but the drive keeps going. Another Pender run. Then Wright hooks up with Jones for 35 yards, and you bring in Jeremiah Gibbs. And Jeremiah Gibbs, he finishes it off with a 2-yard touchdown run. The extra point failed. Now, wait a minute. Jeremiah Gibbs, this is a new name. I hadn't heard Jeremiah Gibbs this year, Coach. Who's Jeremiah Gibbs?
Jeremiah's still, he's an older player that returned. He got hurt in camp. He was a backup running back last year to the guy who transferred to Alabama State, and then Gibbs came in and was his backup. So now we pretty much then put him in a position that he's doing a really good job. He's kind of hurt again. His shoulder's been hurting him for the past. This is his first game that he's played in since camp.
Well, way to come back. Came back with a touchdown and a couple of big runs in this game. Good job, Jeremiah. All right, CSU will get it. And Boney, quarterback for the Marauders, he'll lead them down the field. But the defense holds one more time. They held them this time to a 35-yard field goal. Scored 12-3. Good guys on top. Now, CAU has it, and disaster strikes. David Wright is picked off by Michael Sherrill, and he takes it 47 yards to the house. What happened, Coach?
I mean, I didn't play quarterback, so I don't know what happened or what his thought process is, but I could see where he was trying to make a throw to the tight end. That window was really shallow, and I think he kind of misjudged how he was going to let it go off his hands, whether he was going to throw it on a 1 or a 2, and the ball floated on him. And when it floated over, it jumped over his tight end head right into the safety's hand. That happens when you play football.
Hey, it happens. It happens. I had a T-shirt. It had a 2 extra letters in front of it, but it happens. Well, score 12-10. Clark Atlanta still on top. Clark Atlanta, they'll have it, and they'll go 3 and out. This time, Wright was sacked on a 3rd and 4, had a big defensive stop for Central State. Now, the Central State will have it, and the Panther defense forces another 3 and out. Panther defense is stepping up big, but Central State has the punt, and they downed it at the 4-yard line, Coach. I am sick and tired of these punters, Coach. Put the inside the 5, Coach.
I mean, we see it every week. It's not. I guess we just got to be prepared for that.
Man, so now Clark Atlanta will have it, and they'll have They have 4.5 minutes on the clock. They'll pick up a pair of first downs on the drive, but then the drive will stall at the 43-yard line. David Wright, he'll quick kick it away. Central State will have it, and they'll run it out. Now we're at halftime. Halftime, Coach. Now you're up 12-10. It's a funny score. I don't know too many people who would be happy if they were playing the numbers game, the squares game, and they had 12-10. So, but hey, a lead is a lead. Now, what do you talk to your team? You're 12-10 at halftime. What do you say to your team, Coach?
There was not much to say to them this time. I thought they was playing good, clean football other than the David Wright pick. That was, and maybe me going, the coaching staff going for it on 4th down. I mean, I had to fuss at the coaches for the mistake we made there. But other than that, they played really clean football. I thought the defense did its part. I thought the offense was doing its part. I just told them to keep playing, and keep doing what we do. Just do our jobs.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, we're ready for the start of the second half. Now, CSU, they deferred to the second half, so they'll get the ball. They'll start the second half. A long kickoff return set CSU up 1st and 10, ball on the Clark Atlanta 42. Central State, they'll run right at the Panther D. It gets the ball to the 13-yard line, but the defense holds strong, and CSU misses the field goal attempt. Another long time-consuming drive that gets nothing. That Panther defense is stepping up big. Now, Clark Atlanta will have it 1st and 10 at their own 20. Pender will pick up the first down with 2 carries. Then Wright is sacked for a huge 13-yard loss. But then Wright heats up. He hits 5 different receivers on this drive to get it to the 2-yard line. And Trayvon Pender, he'll finish it off with a 2-yard touchdown run. Another long drive led by David Wright. It was a 10-play, 80-yard drive that took almost 6 minutes, scored 19-10. Now, Coach, you got a quick strike offense. Your offense, they score quick. Now your offense is taking the time moving the ball up the field. They're showing that they can run the ball. Coach, it's getting kind of dangerous, Coach.
Well, it's all a part of the process.
All a part of the process. Like to see that. Central State, they'll have it 1st and 10 at their 25, and they'll have an 11-play drive that only nets about 30 yards, and they're forced to punt. Coach, this defense has forced a bunch of 3-and-outs. They're bending but not breaking. They're forcing a lot of punts. This is a completely different defense than the one that gave up 42 against Fort Valley in the first game, Coach. What's going on? Why is this defense just getting so much better, Coach?
Well, it just takes time. A lot of people don't realize that we've only been here 8 months.
Yes.
Installing our offense and installing our defense and most of the players that were retained were on that defensive side of the ball. So teaching a lot of those guys a new system, what to do, how to do, why it's important for them to do it that way. We're not like a simple defense. We're a multiple defense. So, learning what to do, how to do it is really rough. So we kind of scaled back on some of the things we were teaching, find some things that they were comfortable with doing, and we built it around it.
There you go. Now, Clark Atlanta will have it. They'll have it 1st and 10 on the 10. Can't get past the 40-yard line, and they're forced to punt it away. Now, CSU will have it 1st and 10 on the CSU 25. The defense finally wears down. I just talked them up, and they finally wore down. Gives up a 20-yard touchdown pass. Boney to Heath scored 19-17. We're still on top, Coach. Still on top. Clark Atlanta will have it 1st and 10 on the 25 with 3 minutes, 17 seconds to go. Start the drive off with a delay of game. Started off with a delay of game. Then you have 2 runs for a loss by Pender. Then an incomplete pass forces Clark Atlanta to punt. But it was a bad punt, Coach. They say it, but they had it at 13-yard. 13-yard punt will give Central State the ball 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Now, my man Leonardo, he's usually a reliable guy, Coach. What happened on that punt?
This week, we had to, at special teams, due to some injuries, we had to move some people around in new spots. So it kind of was like touch and go with who was playing where, and some of them it was their first time playing in those spots, and it kind of showed up on tape. So we were kind of falling apart in that special teams area. Good thing that most of those guys will be back this week, and hopefully we'll have them in uniform and ready to go to play.
Okay.
And that drive, let's speak on that drive right there. That drive was probably one of the worst drives that we've probably had all season, and from our play caller and everybody. We were just like, at that moment, I thought we might have had gave the game away. I really was not happy about it, and I really showed it to my coaches, but everything planned out the way it needed to play out. But I was really upset because we went from getting the ball back to a delay of game penalty, and it made me think about the clock, and I've been saying this for a long time. A lot of times when you're on the road, and we've been on the road quite a lot this year, it seemed like the play clock would start a lot faster for us than it normally would, especially during the change of possessions.
Oh yeah.
And I think a lot of the things that happens too now is the TV time that we're on now. Is so many breaks that the kids are not used to, which also adds to that, when it's 25 seconds when it come back, then it rushes and it goes back. It's a lot of things that strategy-wise that you had to think about when you're on this TV as much as we've been on TV this year.
Welcome to the big time, Coach. Welcome to the big time. Everybody want to be big time.
I know.
Until it's time to be big time.
I know, because we had to change the way we were coaching, how we were doing it, thinking about when you get the ball, how long you need to keep it, those things there. You got to look at a lot of different things now when you're coaching, because I think the game has changed to those who can score fast. Yeah, you can score fast, but sometimes you can score too fast, and then you allow your defense to play way more snaps than they really need to be playing, and you really start thinking about the strategy of the game a little bit better now.
Makes sense. Okay, now CSU ball. It's 2 minutes and 4 seconds to go. Ball on the 25-yard line. That's a tough spot for the defense to be in. But the defense did a pretty good job, actually a great job of just holding Central State to a field goal. But now the score is 20-19. Bad guys on top, Coach. Bad guys on top. They're going to kick the ball off. They kick it off. After a 36-yard return by Jamal Jones, CAU will have it 1st and 10 on their own 42-yard line. 1 minute, 12 seconds to go. It's David Wright time, Coach. I think he likes these situations. I think he likes playing like this, Coach. I think he turns up a notch when the game is in his hands and on the line like that. Now, 1st and 10. He'll hit Pender for a huge 23-yard pickup. Now the clock is running 1st and 10. He'll find Virgil Young for a 6-yard gain. Now Virgil, smart play, got out of bounds at the 29-yard line. It's 47 seconds to go. 2nd and 4. He sees Young on the sideline. He hits Young. Young makes a move and walks on into the end zone for a 29-yard touchdown pass. Good guys on top, Coach.
Again.
What was the play there? What was that? What was the look? What was that final play right there that they called? We don't need to know the play.
It's nothing, but it's our 2-minute offense, and you can see sometimes we used to operate in that capacity in 2-minute mode. So I mean that's something we're used to doing, so we can strategically move the ball down the field, and that's what I'm talking about, strategically managing the game. If you're not really thinking about what you're doing there, they go and we stop them to a field goal, but you left too much time on the clock. And when you do that, that's why I say when you got to know who your opponent is, their offensive capabilities and things of that nature. There, can they score in the amount of time that we need to score in? And I think from anywhere on that field, if you just turn them loose sometime and David Wright makes the right reads, we can move the ball down the field in 3 to 5 plays.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And here's the thing. Now, here's where a little bit of the controversy for the people at home come into effect. Now, I would like to say, first of all, that HBCU Go did a beautiful job broadcasting this game. I've been calling games for 20 years, and the quality of work that they put out there,
no doubt about it.
The game was beautifully called. Beautifully shot. Everything was perfect. But then, right when you guys decided to go for 2, the feed cut out and they went to the regularly scheduled program. Oh, Coach, I almost threw something at the TV, Coach. Oh, I was hurting. Oh. But anyway, we had to make it through. Well, you guys had to make it through.
Well, I think this might have been one of them Central State homecoming fans.
Oh, that's probably what happened.
That was rough on them. They thought they had won and they was bringing their cups on down, about to go party, and maybe they just tripped over the wire as it was going out the door because they was that mad.
That might have been what happened. We're going to blame it on Central State. All right, now, Central State will have it. They'll have a nice kickoff return. They'll get it to the Clark Atlanta 41-yard line. No huddle. Boney, he's sacked for an 11-yard loss. George Tharp gets the sack. And then next play, they'll complete a short 5-yard pass to Bossy. And then they'll go out of the shotgun one more time, 3rd and 16. And George Tharp, one more time, George Tharp gets in there, another sack, causes a fumble, but Boney falls on top of the fumble. And then 4th and 29, an incomplete pass. He was hurried by Cameron Williams. Cameron Williams hurried him, and it was a turnover on downs. And then next thing you know, Clark comes out there and lines up in what I like to call the best formation in football or the worst formation in football. It just all depends on whose sideline you're standing on. They take a knee, ball game, Clark. Now, you had some guy by the name of George Tharp come in here and get 2 huge sacks in the last series. Who is George Tharp, Coach?
George Tharp transferred to us from the University of West Georgia. He's been on our scout team. He's an inside linebacker. He's actually one of the 3rd-string linebackers. He's been playing special teams here for a second. And Cersei kind of went down with a leg aggravation, so, he's still being evaluated by the doctors, and he played the last 2 series, and he did a really good job.
Did a good job. Hey, that's one of those things, though. this is especially for the youngsters, for the kids out there watching. When your number is called, you gotta be ready. You gotta be ready when they call your number. You have no idea when it's gonna be your time to step up. But when it's your time to step up, you gotta step up. And Cersei stepped up first after somebody got injured.
That's right.
And now Tharp stepped up when somebody got injured.
Well, I told you, I think in terms of process, everything is about where we're trying to go. And if you got a team of people and you're trying to win a championship, and that's what we're trying to bring the ship in, everybody's going to have to do something to contribute to that. Mm-hmm. Everybody. So I tell them, whether you're taking mental reps or physical reps, you need to be in position to learn what to do, how to do it, and why it's important for you to do it that way. And once your time is called, will you drop the ball? Because I'll know if you've been preparing, because it's moments like that George Thorpe could have spent that time being in his feelings and not mentally preparing for the game, and not paying attention in the meetings, not knowing what the defense is, what to do, how to do it, and why it's important to do it that way. So it's a very important message that just because I'm not playing right now doesn't mean my time gonna come. But a lot of people don't spend the time, they're more reactive than proactive. So if you got a proactive mindset, you're gonna be preparing for that moment. So when that moment comes, I'm ready that I won't let the team down.
That is true. That is true. Be ready so you don't let the team down. Huge victory, huge victories. Final score 25-20, 25-20. Good guys take out the bad guys, and you are the homecoming king. You're the homecoming king on the other team's homecoming. That's always a good feeling. All right. Now we're coming back to next week. This upcoming weekend, we got us a big one, Coach. It's homecoming. All the homecoming festivities, everybody out, all the alumni coming back to check out the game, the cookouts, the barbecues, everything going on in the parking lot, the homecoming concert. It's a big week. Oh, you do play a football game too, Coach.
That's right, and I think it's a lot for Happy Homecoming to CAU, Clark Atlanta University. We have a lot of alumni is going to be back, and for the first time in the history of Clark Atlanta, they're going to come home to a homecoming where they're winning. And they're excited about the opportunity, and we got a big game on the market.
Big game on the market, and we are playing for homecoming Miles, the Miles Golden Bears. Should be a big-time matchup. Miles currently in first place in the SIAC with no losses. You guys have that one loss to Savannah State, Coach, in the SIAC. This right here could put you in the driver's seat. You can control your own destiny from here on out to see if you can make that SIAC championship. What will we be seeing when you guys play Miles? Who is Miles? What is Coach Sam Shade going to bring when you guys play Miles?
A physical toughness, a good running game, a championship caliber program, a team that beat Clark Atlanta 50-something-0 last year. It was bad. There's a lot of redemption that got to happen, and our kids understand the magnitude of the game. They understand, I never would have thought 8 months ago we'd just be sitting here talking about Clark Atlanta even possibly being in the position that we're in to be in a championship caliber game. I think last week we played a team with a championship caliber defense. I think this week we finna see a combine of both. Good defense and good offensive play, a lot of weapons on the field. It's just a matter of who's going to be more focused and who's going to make less mistakes and who's going to be able to get into the box.
All right, man, this is huge. This is huge. Homecoming coming up. I shouldn't have to tell anyone to get your tickets and come to the homecoming game. But make sure when you log on to get your tickets, you log on the official site. Don't find any scammers. Don't go to any scammers. Make sure you go to the official Clark Atlanta University site to get your tickets for homecoming. We want to see everybody out. It's homecoming. I know we coming to the game, and I know my people like to dress and look good. But if you dressing and look good, make sure you got on red and black looking good. Make sure you got on your red and black, and we love your fraternity. We love your sorority. But this time for homecoming, let's make sure you got something that has Clark on it, Clark Atlanta on it. Make sure you got something that has Clark Atlanta. Support the Clark Atlanta Panthers here on homecoming. Should be a good one this week. Be sure to check us out. Well, we want to thank everybody for checking us out here on the Clark Atlanta Football Coaches Show, the Teddy Keaton Show. The Teddy Keaton Show. He's Coach Teddy Keaton. All your images have been brought to you by one and only D. Clark and the Hood Genius Entertainment. I am, our super producer, we cannot forget our super producer, Mr. Miles Jenkins. I am Sylvester Williams. They call me Sly the Sports Guy. This is the Teddy Keaton Show here on HBCU Game Day. We'll see you next week.